What's up, guys, and welcome back to this week's McInnes Marketing Minute.
This is the monthly.
This is the monthly. This is the monthly breakdown of September 2021, Jay.
This is true.
You don't know anything about it because you weren't here. You're in Hawaii. No, you're in Portugal.
Gone for like 9 days. 30 days in the month, if you didn't know.
Thank you for that.
It's been interesting this month. Some surprising points, actually, in my opinion, which we'll chat about shortly with regards to absorption specifically. So I'm going to give that little trailer.
Okay.
And I'll let you fill in a little bit of blah, blah, blah until I get to that exciting part.
So let's go through some of the sexy numbers that people usually listen for. So, new inventory to market in September was about 20%. It was just under 20%, at like 19.
Which inventory?
19.4. New listed inventory. I'm talking a combined new listed inventory.
Mine, okay. That's a good word to use up front then.
So, my God. Anyway, so new inventory to market was down about 20% versus this time last year, which, okay, we're kind of coming a bit more to normality this time last year for COVID. But again, inventory down. Overall inventory versus last year is actually down by almost 30%. So you think we're kind of getting into one of those phases, which we've been talking about for the longest time, which is inventory is crazy down, demand is incredibly high, market's crazy, so on and so forth. But it's not quite that simple, because this is where the media comes in. The media, our friends, of course, always telling the full story. They would come in and say new inventory to market is down 20%. Well, that's actually super close to the 10-year average of what this time every September the last 10 years. Yes. So it's actually 1.2% below the 10-year average. That paints quite a bit of a different picture. Do you need help? Are you getting tired?
I'm just slowing it down. That is interesting, kind of surprising as well, considering what our friend, the media, is saying. Sales. So sales are the most important part of this. That's why I've obviously taken this section of the talk, naturally. Detached sales.
Okay.
Down 27% year over year. Attached sales, townhomes for example, down 20%. And the only market with sales up, which is just under 2% year over year, are apartments.
Yeah.
So to our conversation before camera, we're still looking at a very pocketed market, meaning you could be crazy over here in the apartment market in Kits, where we are now, and you could go to Burnaby townhouse market and you've got all the leverage in the world because the pressure isn't there. So the market is still very segregated by pocket. You can be in some aspects of it and competition's flying.
Well, I think it makes sense when you think about it because, again, basic common sense states that with the way that prices have gone up, which on average is 13.8% year over year, that's, I mean, even as high as over 20% for houses, common sense suggests that there's not as many people who can afford that. So the demand is still there and it still outweighs inventory, but it's not at crazy levels like we were seeing before. So if one thing's for certain, that's the craziness of the market is gone. And we are still seeing those pocketed areas now. And in fact, it's actually probably calmed down to just the pockets. There was a time at the start of the year where it just seemed like everything.
For sure.
And now we've gone to more pockets. So now we're going back to actually what we were probably talking about this time last year, which is you need to make sure that you're looking at the product that you're either buying or selling, what's happening in that market. And we're not just talking like,
market.
we're not just talking about area as well. We're talking about specific product in that specific area. Like a 2-bedroom in Kits could be a very different story to a 2-bedroom in even Brentwood, for example. So we've gone back to the pocketed side of things now. So that's where really the research beforehand is going to make all the difference. And further on from that market of pockets, that's why we're not seeing prices rise in the same way that they were before. So, I mean, from August, from the month previously, the market only went up 0.8%, which is nowhere near the 2% that we were seeing a month for the detached houses. So things are still busy, but in particular areas. And that's why we see those sales to active listings ratios. They're still in seller's market territory. That doesn't mean that that's for everywhere. As we know, when the board does the numbers and the numbers come out, it's Greater Vancouver. It's not every specific neighborhood.
Yeah, so still a seller's market, just the severity of the seller's market is still diminishing. We had that peak, as everyone knows, back in March when everything was coming together. And then from that point, we've got that continued softening. But we're still, of course, and pocket specific, in seller's market territory. So
Yeah.
it keeps it fun.
Which also further, again, another point, backs up the fact that the market has shown that it's not going to overpay for what's on market right now. Just because you're on market doesn't mean that you're going to get any price that you particularly want. So that's why I haven't got the figures here, but I'm sure if we looked at days on market for those homes that are not selling, they are just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there because the market is not in a place, is not in a climate where it needs to just throw numbers at it, hoping that it's going to get something.
To the diminishing demand, the fear of missing out has continued to diminish where that comes in.
Exactly.
People aren't just going to throw any number, any price just to get it, for sure.
Exactly. So
Okay, I think that's it.
I think that's it. Research what's out there, guys. Reach out to us with any questions. As always, please hit subscribe. I pointed it up, but I think it's down.
It's down.
And feel free to leave any comments, but smash that surprise. No, that was...
Like button, subscribe button, I think he meant, but severely screwed up. Thanks for watching. See you later.
what was it? God, I'm trying to think of the guy.